Posted by you/the Salading Salad. Serious Redditors who have been clinically dead, what did you experience in death if anything? I had a terrible reaction to anesthesia and my breathing and heart slowed and stopped. I was out at the time of course, but I remember them trying to wake me up after and just feeling like I had been very far away and it was such a slog to come back. For weeks everything seemed so muffled and wrong, like I was watching life from outside of myself. Nothing. It was like when you go to sleep. You don't realize you fall asleep, then all of a sudden you're waking up. I quit breathing and then my heart stopped for 2.5 minutes. I woke up 21 hours later intubated with broken ribs from resuscitation. Literally had no idea what happened. I was in a room, then 21 hours later in the hospital. No flashbacks of my life, no white light, no feeling of peace, just nothingness. I wanted to look. After the blinding, knock you out if you move, pain and the feeling of burning from the inside out until you've sweated out all the water in your body, I reached a point of a really comfortable chilly temperature. After that it felt as though warm water that was made with exactly the temperature I needed slowly started rising. I was flat on my back on a concrete convention floor. Despite all that I didn't feel wet or dippy, just absolutely perfect. A light wind started blowing and I could feel it all over my body as if I was wet on a windy day after getting out of a swimming pool, or like having someone's warm breath against the back of your neck or ear. It felt so good I couldn't help but keep my eyes closed. I was completely and utterly at peace and in total comfort until the pain came back and I knew I was home again. I wish I looked though, but at the same time I'm glad I didn't. I can't remember it because I was an infant. I've heard many stories of me getting super relaxed and just dying. The NICU nurses would just flick my foot and that would be enough to get my tiny, underdeveloped body going again. I was born 3 months early, so I was constantly either on death's door, or would die briefly. I'm 22 now and doing well despite a lot of health issues and underdeveloped body parts. I don't die when I get comfy anymore, which is nice. I went to space, I think. Somewhere in space. I definitely went somewhere that wasn't here. It was the most peaceful place. No troubles. No problems. No worries. I died after a car crash when I was 16. Wow, hope recovery went good. As much as I would want to declare it as clarity or ascended reality, the most realistic and true answer would be simply nothing. Void. Not even space. How I would describe it would be like this. Not being able to feel anything at all. Not being able to see, to hear, to move at all. But yet I was fully conscious that I was me, and I was there. Complete nothingness. I overdosed as a teenager and was gone for a couple of minutes. I remember 2 things. I remember just complete darkness that felt like nothingness yet complete peace at the same time. The other thing I remember is the pain I felt when they brought me back. I can't even describe to you the pain I felt when I was brought back to life. It truly was the most painful experience I've ever had. I almost feel like it was my mind/body or something saying it didn't want to come back to life. Truly an odd situation that I sometimes can't comprehend when I think about it. I died due to anesthesia complications but got brought back obviously. I remember it pretty well for some odd reason. I remember seeing a bright light, then it going really dark and I felt like I was floating. Moments before I woke up, all the memories I had throughout my life quickly rewinding, and I woke up saying what just happened. Clinically died from stopped heart after a severe anaphylactic reaction for a couple of minutes. I remember a feeling of horrible terror like I was being sucked into a black hole. Like the terror that just freezes you up all inside. Then blackness. Then I remember just laying there exhausted. I had little to no brain activity after hitting my head really damn hard on a bike, no helmet of course. I was about 13. It felt like I was somewhere else, but I was only allowed a glimpse I guess. It's hard to describe. I felt like I was in the presence of something else. I came to about 4 days after the accident. Really messed me up. I had to learn how to walk again, talking was hard. After about 3 months I had most of my motor functions back, but my thinking process felt slower than before for years. I feel like a lot of my memories from childhood are kinda gone now. Immediately after the accident I had memory problems. And a bit of a personality change, I became little more introverted. Technically I've been dead 5 times. 4 times during open heart surgery, because they have to stop the heart, and once outside of open heart surgery. I remember wanting to stay awake but I couldn't. Like everything slowed down. I lost sense of time. I didn't see a white light. No dead loved ones. It did feel almost calming in some ways. I wasn't scared. But, something that does happen, especially when I was younger. I could feel spirits/ghosts what have you. I'm not the ghost whisperer face with tears of joy but I could sense them. No talking to them. It was like a shadow figure I could see and sense them. And I think this ties in with my deaths. In 2012, I had a massive allergy attack which led to a nearly fatal asthma attack. I have chronic asthma, which is only getting worse with age. Anyway, I was able to call 911 and get out 3 lines, name, address, and what's wrong, before everything went black. Now, where I was living, at the time, was on the 4th floor of an apartment building in the very urban area of Richmond Heights, a few blocks from East Cleveland. The apartment complex was almost across the street from the Richmond Heights Hospital, but the EMTs still had to drive from their location to the aft, then go up the 4 flights of stairs. Elevator was iffy at best, get me do whatever they had to do to get air into me or whatever, then get me to the ER. I estimate that oxygen was cut off from my brain for anywhere between 5 to 15 minutes before they intubated me. As far as I know, my heart didn't stop beating, but my brain was not getting any oxygen at the time. Either I didn't see anything, or I wasn't meant to remember. But there was nothing there. At all. Absolute darkness, no sounds, no touch, nothing. It wasn't too far off from how limbo is described in some cultures. I awoke, albeit paralyzed, in the ER. There was a team of people running around and working on me, everyone in a near panic, and cutting my clothes away. I guess they were looking to see if I'd been bitten or stung anywhere. They had some messed up comments, but overall, they were efficient. Also, I'm clearly not dead. I have side effects of my experience, though. Massive memory loss being the most prominent of them. I remember the incident in crystal clarity. I know exactly what led up to the attack, what happened after I awoke, and what happened after I awoke again in ICU, where I spent the next 6 days, by the way. However, my short-term memory is nearly gone. Some things I can recall, but roughly 80% of everything is lost after it happens. I guess it gets shoved into a long-term storage, but the random access memory storage is fried. My mood shifted too. Before all of this, I was angry almost all the time. I had a rage I couldn't explain, grudges I couldn't let go of, and people that I'd hurt. After I woke up, I don't know. It was gone. I don't know why, or where it went, but I'm so much lighter now. I still get angry, but the rage within is gone now. I've made amends with the people I've hurt, at least as much as I know how. And the grudges. I can't forget what those people did to me, but I hold no grudges anymore. It's too exhausting now. Being angry, it just wears me out. Maybe that's a side effect too. I have a different outlook on life that I didn't have before. I can't explain it, but I know I've reached the age where I don't bounce anymore. In 2012, I was 29, and I nearly died. I'm 36 now, and I'm managing my asthma, avoiding things that can kill me, and trying not to hurt anyone for what little time I have left. Also, I don't know if you believe in this sort of thing, whoever bothers to read this, but there was something else I lost in 2012. I was born half empathic, from my mother who is empathic, and part psychic, one generation removed. I used to be able to see ghosts, people, animals, wandering souls. That's gone now. I miss it so much. But it's like it's blocked, like it's just out of reach, but nothing I do will access it. I can do without my memory, I can deal with the new stutter, the random moments where I simply cannot speak at all, the motor control issues where my hands shake or drop things. But that, I want that back. I miss that more than anything else.